Hi there, Bill Hitchcock. Fantastic program for you. Something I've been wanting to get out ever since this information got out. We're going to be talking about the Atlantic Basin's seasonal hurricane forecast for 2024, specifically Colorado State University, which is one of the leading organizations for forecasting the hurricane season. They come out every year. This year they came out in April, June, July, and August. They've updated their forecast models with what they predicted the hurricane season was going to be like. I want to throw up this graph chart first from Colorado State. It shows what they had predicted. I'm just going to stick with their last forecast of August 2024. They had predicted that there would be 23 named storms, there would be 12 hurricanes, half of which would be major hurricanes. Well, that sounds like a pretty active season. I produced a video in between the April and June issuing of their predictions. And I want to play this video for you. First off, it's going to talk about their 2024 hurricane predictions back from April. Then this video is going to get into what are the best forecast models when there's actually a storm. Actually, I've got a display one right behind me here. The accuracy of the National Hurricane Center's 5-day forecast. And finally, 9 hurricane tips. This video is about 5 minutes long. I want to play it. When we come back, we're going to compare to what was forecasted for the 2024 season to what has actually happened. Huge disparity. But let's take a look at this video right now.
According to the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, there is a 61% chance that 2024 will be the warmest year in 175 years and 100% chance it will rank within the all-time top 5. All of this could be the harbinger of things to come, a precursor to a very active hurricane season. The National Weather Service forecasters at the Climate Prediction Center predict an 85% chance of an above-normal season. They predict 17 to 25 named storms with 8 to 13 hurricanes. The Weather Service anticipates that 4 to 7 of those hurricanes will be major. The Colorado State University Tropical Weather and Climate Team is predicting 23 named storms, with 11 becoming hurricanes, 5 of which should reach major hurricane strength. Colorado State University goes on to predict that there is a 62% chance of a U.S. landfall. The East Coast has a 34% chance of a hurricane strike, and the Gulf of Mexico between Florida and Texas has a 43% chance. Since the 1970s, hurricanes have been rated between Category 1 and Category 5 storms. Recently, there has been a push to include winds up to 192 miles per hour in a Category 5 storm, with anything stronger listed as a Category 6 hurricane. So just how accurate are these predictions? This graph shows the National Hurricane Center's track error trend from 1990 to 2022. Notice the steep decline in its error track over the past 32 years. The National Hurricane Center's average track error for its 2-day forecast is 52.5 nautical miles. Their storm intensity margin for error, as one would expect, is much more accurate the closer a storm gets. Since 2002, Colorado State University's hurricane predictions have had a margin of error of around 60%. Which hurricane forecast modules are the most accurate? The European Center for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts model, or the ECMWF, has been considered one of the most accurate hurricane tracking models. The ECMWF forecasts are generally 95 to 96% accurate for up to 12 hours, 85 to 95% accurate for 3 days, and 65 to 80% accurate for 10 days. The Global Forecast System, or GFS, is one of the most widely used numerical weather prediction models for predicting hurricanes. However, its accuracy in forecasting hurricanes can vary depending on the specific storm and forecast lead time. Spaghetti models are a collection of numerical forecast models and their ensemble members plotted on a map. These models are based on complex mathematical equations and require expertise to make the most accurate predictions possible. Here are 9 important hurricane facts to remember. Hurricanes require ocean water temperatures of 80 degrees and above. Below this temperature, hurricanes will not form or will weaken rapidly. Gulf Stream waters off the coast of North Carolina reach 80 degrees in late May to early June. Something else likes 80-degree water temperatures, and that's blue marlin. It's one of the reasons why major marlin tournaments are held during this time. It is easy to track these warm waters and see that hurricanes follow their path. This chart shows the flow of the Gulf Stream. Doubling the wind speed of a hurricane does not double the wind force. It quadruples it. Wind speed and wind force have an exponential relationship, not a linear one. The annual peak of hurricane season historically falls in mid-September each year. The strongest winds in a hurricane are in the eye wall and the right front quadrant of the hurricane. The left side of both will usually experience less fierce conditions. Hurricanes in the Atlantic rotate counterclockwise. Depending on which side of the eye you are situated at, determines the wind direction you experience. As the storm passes by, the wind usually shifts in the opposite direction. North Carolina is unique in that the coastline, particularly along the inner banks, has north, south, east, and west-facing beaches. This ensures that at least one area will bear the brunt of a storm. These direct winds push water onshore and can cause severe flooding. It is not just the coast that can be impacted by hurricanes. In 1989, Charlotte was severely affected by Hurricane Hugo. Raleigh was devastated by Hurricane Fran in 1996. The remnants of 2 Gulf storms impacted the North Carolina mountains in 2004, bringing up to 30 inches of rain, flooding, and damaging mudslides. Please keep this in mind. Sometimes, a lesser strength storm can cause more damage to a specific location than a storm of greater magnitude. This is why it is not advisable to judge any storm solely by its hurricane category rating. A Category 1 storm could cause more damage in a localized area than a Category 2 has in the past. Wind direction, intensity, and proximity to water are major contributing destructive factors. 2024 is predicted to be the warmest year in 175 years. It's also the year with the most active storms forecasted ever. Is it time to panic? No. Buy storable food and drinks now. Get supplies such as plywood, nails, generators, and tarps now before it's too late. Make tentative evacuation plans. Contact friends and relatives outside of the area and make accommodation arrangements now. The time to panic is never. The time to act is now.
Hopefully you enjoyed that brief video that was done on hurricanes. Again, the information that for the forecasting models was done at the end of in May, about 4 or 5 months ago from when this is being made. And it talks about, again, let's put that back up there, what Colorado State University was talking about. We're going to look at their August issue date of 23 named storms, 12 hurricanes, and 6 major hurricanes. This is September 8th when we're doing this. We're 1 or 2 days away from the peak season of hurricanes. What has actually happened to date? To date, I'm going to put this up, this graphic up. We have had, they predicted 23 named storms. We have had 5. They predicted 12 hurricanes. We have had 3. They predicted 6 major hurricanes. We have had 1. So what was predicted to what actually happened, huge disparity, large difference. And they know this. The folks at Colorado State University, they know that, we were off. And let's go over, and so they're trying to address this. Listen to this. It says, following Hurricane Beryl, the Atlantic hurricane season remained quite active, with 2 additional hurricanes, Debbie and Ernesto, forming by August 14th. Okay. Only 4 other hurricane seasons in the satellite era, which is from 1966 forward, that's the satellite era, had 3 hurricanes by August 14th. That was in 1966, 1968, 1995, and 2005. So since 1966, there's only been 4 of the years that were as active as it was this year up until August 14th. It says, however, this is Colorado State University talking. It says, however, since that time, the Atlantic hurricane season has gotten extremely quiet. The Atlantic has produced no named storm formation since Ernesto on August 12th. Only one other time in the satellite era, again, that's from 1966 to present, has the Atlantic not produced any named storms between August 13th and September 3rd. One other time. That's how quiet it has been. The other year was 1968. This pronounced quiet period is quiet period is especially remarkable, given that it coincides with a time of year where the Atlantic climatology gets very, very busy. I'm going to put this graph up, which I'm not looking at. You are right now, but that shows, I think it's September 10th is the apex, the high point of the hurricane season. We've only had one other year, that was 1968, that has been as quiet as it has been since August 13th. They offer, so the big question, and this is Colorado State talking, they say, so the big question is why the season has gotten so quiet. We do not think that there is one straightforward reason, but several factors in combination that likely conspired to quiet the season. I'm just going to just touch on the 4 reasons why they think, because it goes into great detail and gets scientific-y. So they say, reason number 1, a northward shifted monsoon through trough, resulting in African easterly waves emerging at too far north of a latitude. Another reason, by the way, the Sahara sand. I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but the sand from Africa floats on over to here, and you can track it. You can go take a look. There's maps where you can track the sand. So number 2, extremely warm upper level temperatures, resulting in stabilization of the atmosphere. 3, too much easterly shear in the eastern Atlantic. And 4, unfavorable subseasonal variability associated with a Madden-Julian oscillation. Basically, they're talking about El Nino. It's the trend from El Nino to La Nina, which we believe is likely a combination of these factors that have led to this recent quiet period. We note that we are not issuing, like I said, they issued in their forecast in April. They issued revamped forecast in June, revamped the forecast in July, and revamped the forecast in August. In their final note, we note that we are not issuing a new seasonal forecast with this discussion as of September 3rd. So they're not going to be making any more forecasts. Long story short, they predicted, as the video said, it's going to be the hottest ever. It's going to be one of the most active seasons ever. And guess what? So you make the judgment from there. The only comment that I'll make right now is for those all worried about climate change and 100 years from now and all that. Well, they can't even get 2-3 months straight. So I don't put much stock in a 100-year prediction. The other thing that I will add, and we've talked about this in prior shows, is they talk about seawater temperatures rising. Well, the methodology that they've started their documentation with is sailboats or boats used to lower a canvas bucket into the water, pull it out, stick a thermometer in there, and take temperatures. That's what their basis is, or using for temperature change in seawater temperatures today. Today, the ships have got temperatures built in, they know instantaneously. So there's been a variance of a degree and a half a degree from those canvas bucket days and sticking the thermometer in to technology today. And that's, the seawater temperature's rising. Again, here's a good example of we can't see a couple of months into the future where some folks are trying to predict 100 years plus into the future. Enough of all that. I'd love to hear your comments. Email me, billhitchcock@mail.com. Post at YouTube your comments on this. But in any case, it looks like as of September 8th, we're not going to have and one last thing. They said that even if it was a low season past this time period, it would still be considered an above average season. We'll leave you with that. Bill Hitchcock, until next time, see ya.